Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the vlog. If you're new here, my name is Kelly and I'm at my office. I'm getting ready to take on my work day. I am a speech pathologist working in a hospital, and I wanted to bring you guys along, show you guys some work content since a lot of my vlogs have been marathon based. Just want to bring it back to the roots, you know? Anyways, we're about to go head on the floor. I wanted to show you guys, I just chart reviewed, and I wanted to show you guys the paper I use for chart reviewing. It helps me. I carry it around all day for all my patients, so I know kind of what's going on with all of them. All right, this is the fancy chart review paper. I've got a nice stack of them over here ready to go. So for each patient, when I have a new eval, I fill this out. Just some of their basic information, date of birth, why they're here, what kind of diet they're on, past medical history. Important to know if they have any swallowing history with us, what their imaging looks like, and then we use this sheet to write notes on, treatments, the eval, our recommendations, any change of status, and then we carry this around the whole time while they're here at the hospital. So I have a big stack of them over in the corner, but this sheet has been really, really helpful to kind of just manage our patients. Every hospital does it a little differently. Every team does it a little differently. Even with my team, everyone uses this paper very differently, but I've really appreciated it working here and really helps me manage my day and understand my patients and give them also instead of logging back on the computer to review all my patients, I can just look at the sheet before I go into the room, which is super helpful for me. We are gonna start this day off in the ICU. I have a couple of evals and then a couple follow-ups from people who I saw yesterday who weren't very appropriate. 2 people in a very similar situation where they were prolonged intubated, and now that they're off the vent, one's on high flow, one's on nasal cannula, but yesterday they were still weaning Precedex and not appropriate really for much therapy. I had to do a lot of suctioning things out of their mouth and cleaning their teeth, and so I already got a text message from the nurse saying one of them is a lot more appropriate today. So I'm excited to go pop over to the ICU and start my morning off there. I am actually headed up to the cardiac ICU right now. This first eval had a 3-vessel cabbage done the other day. One of my big goals of working right now is getting more consulted on our cardiovascular post-surgical patients because of the high risk of silent aspiration in these patients. So we're gonna go see her. Hopefully she's looking okay. Might have to do a modified this afternoon on her because of her high risk of her surgery and having her sternotomy and having that cabbage procedure, but let's see how she does. Okay, welcome to clean holding, where us speech pathologists often find trach stuff or oral care or random patient care stuff, and it is the biggest. If you don't spend a lot of time in clean holding and you go to 17 different floors of the hospital, trying to find the one thing you need is always a struggle, but they're typically somewhat organized. So I'm looking for oral care for that first eval, so that really cleaning out her mouth before I'm giving her anything, because she's at such a high risk for aspiration, is a key component of, just making sure you're being as safe as possible giving these patients liquid if you know that they're at high risk. So I'm trying to find Yonker suction oral care kit in all of this, and I can't really find it. So I might just have to go with one of these. This is a oral care use thing, and then she has a section in her room that I can suction while I scrub. All right, headed out of the cardiovascular ICU into the medical ICU, where I'm gonna probably spend majority of the rest of my morning. That patient, not doing too hot. She's a little bit elderly and they did heart surgery on her. And I think that she's just not quite ready to be swallowing yet after anesthesia. So I'm gonna see her again tomorrow. But let's go see these medical patients, these follow-ups, these evals. Woohoo! Let's go. Wow. The nourishment room, so exciting. This is my best friend, one of these ice makers. Good job in SLP. Got some ice, got some water. ready to go see my next patient. I finished my evals in the ICU, so now I'm heading to my treatments. And my patient got off a high flow nasal cannula today and is already more awake and alert, so I'm optimistic this is gonna look better. I still always bring ice and water into patients' rooms for two reasons. Sometimes they decline and they need ice and start those trials again. But also sometimes people have strong opinions on not drinking ice water. So, and they prefer room temperature, especially my older patients, like 85 plus. So I bring both in so I'm prepared. You never know what you're gonna get when you go into the room. Back in another nutrition room, drinking water because I gotta hydrate throughout the day. You know how it is. Hydration nation. I told you guys I spend a lot of time in nutrition rooms, and I'm not joking. I don't hang out in them and like hide from my job, but I come in here every single time I see a patient to get all my stuff. But this time I'm also hydrating because I feel dehydrated. I need to hydrate up, and I am now on the medical floor, so on med-surg, doing med-surg things. A lot of our med-surg at this hospital is like dementia patients. So I've got 2 evals to do for that, dementia with respiratory illness. And then I'm gonna go do lunch and write my notes. So the ICU patients went well. I just got another consult from the ICU. The nurse called me. So I will be back up there this afternoon, but for now, med-surg life. I will say, that's like part of the job is like bouncing around from floor to floor in different units and like different levels of care. And just because they're on med-surg like doesn't necessarily mean like I need to not be as like concerned about my patients, because a lot of times they're on med-surg, and even though they don't have like critical illness that they need to be escalated up to the ICU, like they're still like ill, and there's a reason why they're here at the hospital. But part of her job, like I would say, being in medical field for speech pathology, like you need to be on board with like fluctuating and going from like high intensity to like your med-surg patients, and like the reality of like an ICU looks super nice and pretty, but like a med-surg floor sometimes doesn't look as pretty, and you have to be like willing to work all over the hospital in different areas and different like aesthetics of the hospital. So just wanted to put that little insight there. It's lunchtime, guys. I got you guys balanced on my iced coffee, and hopefully it's not gonna spill over. But during lunch, I like to eat and type, so that's what I'm doing. It's a great time for me to catch up on my notes. I know some people like to use their lunch and to enjoy and to relax, but I rather not take a 30-minute unpaid lunch break, and I rather work through my lunch while I eat, so that I rather have that 30 minutes like to go home instead of staying here for 30 minutes longer. So I need to get finishing on these notes and take on the afternoon. This afternoon's gonna be busy. I've gotten a lot more consults coming in, a lot more, so I'm going to have to triage and prioritize the people who are NPO, and you know, go back to the ICU, because there's like 3 people in the ICU who are NPO right now, and I need to go see them so that they have diet plans for the afternoon and for tonight and for tomorrow morning. Okay guys, this morning I was trying to show you the kits that I really like. They have these oral care kits, and then also ones like these. This just has more packaging in them, but I think what's great about it is this connects to the suction so that you can actually suction out liquid, so it's not just pooling in their mouth. And it also, once you squeeze that little white part, there's like an oral rinse and like antibacterial thing, oral care thing in it. So it's very nice to clean someone's mouth with this, especially our patients who may be edentulous. Wow, I can't say that. The sponge is nice, and then they also have like that little toothbrush version. So these are literally great. I'm taking this with me to my next patient. Let's go. Well guys, we hit the final hour of work, and I am so happy. I just had a rough I have one more eval to do, but my prior one, second to last one, yeah, the one I just did was kind of hard, and it's hard when you have to propose goals of care discussion. I think in my populations right now, it's a lot of elderly patients that I'm saying, they're old. We got to talk whether or not we want to do comfort feeds or go with a feeding tube long term, or, there's a whole debate on that, and the American Geriatric Society doesn't always recommend for older adults to have a peg tube placement, but at the same time, you gotta respect the family's wishes, and I'm ultimately just there as I'm proposing these options, I'm proposing this discussion and letting the doctor step in and then take care of the discussion. But it's just sad and hard when that's the situation that you have to talk to the doctor about bringing up to family and loved ones, because it's just not easy. And that patient is someone's daughter or someone's mother or someone's father or son or neighbor or loved one, and it's just sad to think that there's not a good solution. But sometimes we just have to do that in our role, and those end stage of life or goals of care or comfort discussions need to happen even though we don't want them to. I'm just sad now, but I need to look on the bright side that it's my last hour of work and move forward in helping this last patient before I end my day. We're free! I'm so happy today's done. It's so sunny and nice outside. I'm gonna be really, really hot in my sweatshirt walking home. Walking to my car. When I leave work, I gotta book it because there's this light that I have to cross at the street. I hit it at the bad time. I'm literally waiting. Wow, that helicopter is really close. I'm literally waiting 7 years in order to cross the street. So I always fast walk it to my car so I can make it. Yeah. Good morning, guys. It's Friday. Yeah! I just got my food put in the fridge. Now I'm about to go chart review and get this day started. I'm a little bit anxious about today because the amount of bodies we have is just me. And then a PRN employee for 4 hours. So not ideal for a Friday at all. And when I was leaving work yesterday, I saw how big the list was getting, and I was like, it's gonna be a triage day, and I just don't love going into the weekend not covering all the patients and just leaving on a good note for the week. But time will tell when we log into that computer, so let's go log in and find out. Okay. Wow, that took forever. Guys, I'm so busy. It's 8:30 this morning. My chart review is done. Our morning staff meeting took forever. I've got 3 modifieds, possibly 4, and then a whole caseload of people, and I only have help for 4 hours. My brain is going to explode. But we triaged. We're just gonna attack it. We're just gonna go, see the patients, message the doctors, talk to the nurses, and just pop these people through. Get these evals done. Oh no. Even on busy days, I gotta drink my water. Guys, check out my lead protected glasses. Anyways, this is the get up for radiology. It's kind of ridiculous, but I just did my first solid study. There's our C-arm, and I got 2 more to do this morning, but the first one went very well.
Especially like the way they tell it, like they just make it.
Yeah. And then there's another, like, I think there's just 2 of them that are sitting like across from each other at a table, and they like go back and forth until they get the other one to like.
They're so stupid, but then they're so expensive.
I lost my silicone ring. This is why you don't wear your actual engagement ring to work. It's gone. I was making a copy and I looked down at my hand and I was like, my ring is gone. And luckily it's just a silicone and I got like a pack of 10, but like, imagine if that was my extra, like my actual diamond ring. PSA, never wear your ring to work. It just flew off my hand. It's definitely in this trash can with all of my gloves and all my barium, but I'm not gonna go dig through it. Like, I'm just taking this as an L, but oh my gosh, I'm so glad that wasn't my actual diamond ring, or else I'd be digging through this right now. I saved you guys the pain of watching me eat lunch today, so you can thank me for that. But I did want to show you guys something that my hospital does when it comes to making sure that we have clear communication with swallow recommendations. Now, not every hospital does this. Like, my prior hospital did not allow this. So, yeah, it may not be across the board for acute care, but specifically my hospital lets us post these signs. So these are our, it's funny because it's gonna be backwards, our swallow precaution signs that we're able to hang up in patients' rooms. So the key to this is like clear communication. So being able to say like, this is the texture the patient's recommended to do, this is the liquids that they're recommended to do, this is how we recommend to give them their safe meds, and just other strategies. So like, if my patient needed to do a chin tuck on all of their intake, like I could say, he needs to do chin tuck, and then it could be plastered onto this, and then they could be like, oh my gosh, they have to do a chin tuck. Or my patient, for example, who I just did a modified for, he needs to take super small bites. So I'm recommending like 1/4 of a spoon bite of of pureed food. And if he does too big of a bite, then like that's increasing his pharyngeal safety concerns. So I wrote down on the paper like 1/4 spoon feed of pureed food, like super small bites, guys. So that way we just have clear communication, especially when it comes to like nurses and changing shift or patient care techs feeding our patients. Like, at least if they don't have the time to go through a note, and they can at least say like, hey, how can we safely feed these patients, and just turn around and read the piece of paper on the wall. So I got to go fill a couple of these out and then go hang them up in my patients' rooms. I did not finish all of my lunch today, so I'm gonna go grab the rest of it because, not gonna lie, I ate a cake pop and then ate another cake pop. From the ICU said cake pops, so I was like, I'm gonna eat some cake pops. And then I didn't eat all my lunch, but now I'm ready for a snack. It's 2:30, I have 1 hour left to work. I have 2 notes to write, and then I'll be done. Oh my gosh, I can't wait for the weekend. Today's been a long day and I'm ready to go home. So let's go get these notes done. I need some snack. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I completely forgot on Friday to say goodbye to you guys. So I just want to say I'm thankful and so appreciative that you guys watch my videos. And if you're looking for any specific acute care SLP content, please comment down below so I can add that into my videos. And I'll see you guys next time.